One of the perks of being a gaming industry insider, which I am by the way because I record video games, talk, and put them on YouTube, is that we get to play every single game before it comes out. And they also send me coupons for Hot Wings. So today what we're gonna look at is this little indie game that you probably haven't heard of. It's really under the radar, but I think it's gonna be very popular once it comes out. It's a little indie game called DayZ. It is an open first world survival horror experience adventure MMO, which basically means that there are zombies in it and you'll die. So we're gonna check out the early access version of the game, which nobody has and nobody has even played. Not even the guy who created it, Don Hall. Nobody has seen or even conceptualized any of this until this moment. As you can see, this is an early access game, so it is an alpha. It will be there for quite some time, which means we may experience bugs, unfinished features, problematic design decisions. Basically, everything that you're seeing now will not be in the final game. It'll be completely different. It'll probably be in space. There might be monsters. I don't know. They're going to completely change the game, and basically, they're saying that what you're playing here is not a game, and you won't ever see it again, so don't worry about it. And you click I understand. If you understand. And here we are. We are wearing a beautiful set of Christmas-inspired clothing. And if you don't appreciate that, you are free to change it to whatever you like, just with their gender as well. You have male or female, which are the main two sexes you can choose from. Your skin, you've got the light skin, which is known as light people, and the very dark skin, which is known as not light people, and dark, and then medium. And I think eventually there will be like medium light. I don't know. You can also switch shirts to your favorite color, assuming your favorite color is one of these shirts. My favorite color happens to be this one and green jeans, because if you're trying to survive a zombie outbreak in Russia, what you need to do is dress like a Christmas tree. That's just the general rule. In the final version of DayZ, there will be many improvements to the outfit system, including 2 more colors of pants, and I think a tuxedo maybe, or a tank top. Maybe pinky rings. It's all up in the air. But remember, this is an alpha, so nothing is as what it seems. So now we are going to play. This is what's known as an open world persistent 3D action horror survival game, which means that you'll be on a server with many people who hate you. And zombies too. And since this is a product exclusively given to us and only us, we will be the only real human beings on the server. All of the other names that you'll see on the server are actually bots that have been coded by the programming team, mostly to be rude and unhelpful. Also racist. Let's start up by joining a server. And here we go, we're connecting to a server. You can see the list of bots on the right, and this is the majestic loading screen. Now, from a previous experience I've had in this game, I am urinating blood. Like I said before, this is a realistic action survival game, so you'll notice things like steam coming out of his mouth and the pissing of blood. This is because I was punched by another player. So what you need to do if you want to be successful in this game is avoid being punched, or if you are punched, do not possess a body filled with blood. Or don't have a dick, I guess, because if you're urinating blood, generally the zombies will be able to find you and it won't be good. Also, you'll notice that the color is getting a little washed out, and that's because I'm bleeding to death, which is a feature. DayZ is a very realistic game. If you were bleeding to death, you would see a lot of white, as the developers have actually killed themselves to see what dying is really like so they could put it in their game and be completely accurate. I just pissed blood on this house. Fortunately, the residents aren't here as they have been murdered or quit, and they shot their computer because I'm sure they're playing a game that wasn't nearly as realistic and fun as this. And they also have a wired mouse because this is Russia, and everybody in Russia is either a zombie or a criminal with a poor computer. What we are going to do here is loot this house. We need to find any goods. We need to look for a treasure chest, I believe, because we are trying to survive in this horror. So this is one of the authentic, realistic houses that actually exist in Russia. I would look at it more, but I just became unconscious. As you can see, I am still unconscious. I've lost a lot of blood and I can feel it dripping. Typically, you stay unconscious for 7 days in real time, and then you can start a new game. But since this is an alpha, they let you do it a little bit earlier. Usually about 3 days, I've found. So I'm just going to sit here in my unconsciousness, kind of hope for the best. There are doctors in this game that will heal you by punching you in the head further, but you have to hope that they come by. So now what we're going to do is sit here and remain unconscious for a while, We'll wait for our consciousness to kick back in, at which point we will continue our journey through Russia and the zombie outbreak. Now, the thing that I like about being unconscious in DayZ is the minimalistic feel to it. It doesn't try to go over the top like these blockbuster, AAA billion-dollar games. It just goes for a very plain white text on black background. And again, that could change for the final product. They could change the text to red. I think I'm going to respawn here because my consciousness does not appear to be returning. And consciousness is a very integral part of this game. So now I will respawn. The only problem with respawning is, since this is a persistent open world 3D internet multiplayer online game, is your character gets killed and you lose everything. And in addition to that, you die in real life. Fortunately, this is an alpha and nothing will happen to me, so you don't need to worry. Now I will click yes. I am dead. Being dead is a little bit different than being unconscious. There's different words on the screen. That's really about it. So I'm going to sit here and be dead for a little bit, kind of play this out. Here we go. I think we are getting less dead. Nah, still dead. In DayZ, like real life, once you die, you have to wait for Jesus to come down and cause you to rise from the living. Until then, you will stay dead. So if you're playing DayZ and you see Jesus, do not try to punch him in the dick. And actually, coming back from the grave appears to not work in the alpha version of DayZ. So what I'm going to do is rejoin the server. So now we are very much alive and on the beautiful sandy rocky beaches of somewhere. We can now begin to look at this game in depth. If you press the tab key, you get to see your character. My name is Thirsty, and I'm wearing wonderful clothes. My inventory includes my shirt and my shoes, and you'll notice that I have green jeans, but only 2 out of 4 of them. So you need to get 4 pairs of pants if you want to be successful in the average DayZ game. You'll also see that I have both a flashlight and a battery, which I can use to combine to have a flashlight with a battery stuck to it. I will now begin my progress. As you'll notice, I don't have any weapons except these 2 beauties, which I can use to punch. You can also see your legs when you walk, which is very realistic. Just like real life, if you look down, you will see your legs when you're walking. I am now in a combat position. Here's a person here examining something on the street. Oh, he's looting somebody. So I'm going to walk up to him and lay down to show that I am passive and I mean no harm. Also, he has apparently sprung a fountain from his back, which is beautiful. Okay, no, he's laying down too. We are doing push-ups together, and that is the team play in DayZ. You team up against a zombie menace by doing push-ups with people with gaping bullet wounds. Okay, he's also praying, so I will leave him to his God and explore these houses. I hope I find something interesting, like the hundreds of items that they have in DayZ, such as a watch maybe, a tape, I don't know. I just fell out of the house because the game decided temporarily not to respond to my mouse. Or a zombie sabotaged the connection, I don't know. You'll notice that they also have bus stops. I've tried waiting here for several hours and a bus does not come. Maybe it's just because it's the alpha, so you might not want to wait for the bus. You can use these sign markers to determine where you are in relation to everywhere else. Kamblawabo is 3, and the other one is 1. So if you want to go to the other one, you go 1 that way, and if you want to go that one, you go 3 that way. These markers are very helpful in finding your friends because the map is actually 700,000 square miles. So it takes a while of exploration to find anything. Like if you have a friend playing with you, you can honestly expect to wait between 7 and 10 days to find them. And usually when you do find them, it won't be them. It'll be somebody completely different. I'm in this house. I want to loot it. I want to find all the greatest gear, but I think somebody was already here because these cupboards are bare. I don't know if you can do it in this version, but in the final version, you will be able to hide in the cabinets and jump out and make scary ghost noises at other players. And then you can press the button to laugh. Also, you'll notice that I was kind of phasing through the wall there. That's a feature of DayZ. Geometry is not very important in this game, as this is a very realistic Russian simulator. There's also a boat here. The boat does not work, but the corpse might. As you can see, he has suffered a common fate in DayZ, and that's failure to swim. I will lay next to him to actually show him that as brothers, we are united. And if you'll notice on the bottom left-hand corner, it says, I want to drink something. That's one of the puzzles. You have to figure out what you want to drink. Okay, look. Now we can see his body. Look, as you might have noticed, he's wearing a beige t-shirt, which we can now wear ourselves, and green athletic shoes. These are both very valuable, but I just want his pants because I need 2 more pairs of pants to make myself a complete man. Unfortunately, you have to upgrade your pockets in DayZ because you start off with the standard pockets with only 2 slots, but then you get larger pants. You know, the more pants you collect, the more pockets you get. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, basically. I'm going to take his battery, and I'm going to take his flashlight so I can dual-wield flashlights. Now I have 2 batteries and 2 flashlights, which I can all glue together to have a giant wad of electricity and light. And that's all very important because I'm thirsty and I need all the light I can get. I will now take this moment to stop looking at his ass and get up and continue to explore the exciting world of DayZ, which has both water and ground, 2 of the finest elements to ever hit the earth. Another helpful sign lets you know that Tinra is 1 down that way. Tinra is, all these towns are completely different, by the way. Tinra is a town that's known for its churches and streetlights, whereas Kanyabin is an industrial part with many windmills and a pet cemetery. A very exclusive pet cemetery, I might add. There's a waiting list. Or you could go back to Kambawabo, which is, it's known as the hat capital of Russia. I don't want to go to any of these places, and I want to go by the guy praying to his blood god. So I will travel this way and check out the various grandmotherly houses that populate all of Russia. This is the greenhouse. It's known for being painted green, but then red on the inside. You really don't know what to expect when it comes to DayZ, because they've got, well, as you've seen, at least 2 colors. Again, a computer that's been shot to death. Somebody didn't like the game very much. So I will go upstairs, but I have a feeling I'm not going to... Oh, I did find something. Another flashlight. The DayZ slogan is, one man can never have enough flashlights. And that is so true in this case. Because now I have yet another flashlight as I crawl on the ground of what appears to be... I don't even know the function of this room. But I'd like to point out that it is realistic and highly Russian. You can get books and pieces of paper, which you can use against the zombie plague, but I'm not going to. You'll notice I just turned on the heater because in Russia it's cold. I turned it off because I'm thirsty. Now I will see what's in this door. You can pick up planks if that's your thing. Personally, I'm not interested in planks, so I will avoid the planks for now and instead open this door. No, I mean, turn on, turn off, turn. An exciting feature of this game is the ability to not differentiate between space heaters and doors. That, of course, will be fixed in the final version, and doors will actually be composed of space heaters. As you'll notice, I have the flashlight in my hand, and another one of the features of DayZ is that once you pick up a flashlight, it is permanently glued to your hand. So find the flashlight that you like the most, it will be bonded to your character forever. You cannot use any weapons or items, as you will always have that flashlight in your hand. That's why they say flashlights come in handy. That's another slogan of DayZ, by the way. Flashlights come in handy. And like Russia, this game is completely full of ground. Everywhere you walk, there's some ground. There's plenty of ground. If you like ground, you will like this game a lot. You'll also hear my character breathing heavily. This is because I am getting tired from running on the ground. You'll generally want to avoid running from the ground, and you'll notice I have a broken chain symbol in the middle of the screen. That is because I'm a free man, and I have broken from the chains of society. Here, we've come to some fine loot, as we've discovered a can. Now, you want all the cans you can get, I'll tell you that much. But I don't want this can. But we'll move on and see what other fine, fantastic things this warehouse has to offer us. Open doors. That's something exciting, so we'll go through it. Now, that's a zombie. Usually in DayZ, you do not see too many zombies. So this is DayZ. One of the breeds of zombies in DayZ is the infamous floor zombie that we're all familiar with, that was popularized in American culture. They're the zombies that just kind of are waist up. They have no need for legs and they can just pass through the world. As you can tell by this guy, he's not very happy with being a floor zombie. He's very depressed and he's wearing the Joker's makeup. He's not even bothering to fight us because he hates his life. So what I'm gonna do here is what any logical Russian would do, attempt to punch to death the floor zombie. Oh God, I think I alienated him. He is gone. I think he's going to a new house to find a new floor to live in. Oh, no, he's still here. Okay. This is the revolutionary combat that DayZ not only founded, but popularized, and many other games have taken a cue from this. Like, I can't think of them offhand, but I'm punching a zombie with no legs in the back of the head. And he took a dive right through the floor. Wait, he's back. He was just inspecting the basement. He was checking the wood for mildew. Everything's fine. The house is structurally sound. I think he gave up. Nope, he's here for dinner. Have you ever wanted to see a zombie in a table? Have you ever wanted to see a zombie inside your furniture? That's actually how they are marketing DayZ on Steam. And as you can tell by the sound effects, when your fist hits the wall, it makes the bullet ricochet sounds. So your fists are essentially composed of bullets. But if you actually look through historical records, you will find that that is in fact correct. There's many sites that you can research it. Are they my fists or is it a bullet.com is where I got my information from. And historic Russian fist sounds of the 1900s.net is another good resource. In this particular zombie survival horror game, there aren't that many zombies. You mostly deal with your everyday hills, and there's a house. Here's some hay. And that's what really makes up, the core of the gameplay is the hay, the trees, and the hills. And that's why it's known as one of the most hardcore games to hit the scene since Maze Craze from the Atari 5200. Again, here is some more woods. We're going to take a dangerous trek through the woods to show off the unique and exciting features that the DayZ Alpha has to offer. Oh, I hear a zombie. When you see a zombie, what you will want to do is shine your flashlight on them, because they hate that shit. See, as you can tell, I have done a lot of damage to them with my flashlight. You'll just want to keep it, do it like that. And continue your vicious attack. As you can tell, he's bleeding from me. That's what the zombies do. It's trying to make you feel that you're the one injured, but actually I am defeating him. Now I am unconscious because I have warm blood on my clothes. You do not want to bleed on your clothes. You want to bleed on other people's clothes. And that's what ruined me in this game. And like before, being unconscious pretty much leads to death, and death pretty much leads to being disconnected. So you'll ideally want none of those things. I'm unconscious but free, and that's all that matters. I think I'll take this moment to respawn, and again, I will lose all my progress, which means my 7 flashlights and potential pairs of matching pants will not be there. Here we go. Waiting to come back. While you're waiting to revive, there's plenty of things that you can do in the meantime, like age, several years. So just, wait. Respawn. Get off the server and reconnect to it. Exit from the server and reconnect. And now let's jump into another fast-paced world of DayZ. Oh, I can hear rustling. There might be a person nearby. Here are leaves. Again, very realistic as there are leaves in real life, and that is the sun exploding. That'll happen if you're not good at the game. Oh, now here's somebody fun. What I will do is lay on the ground. I'm laying on the ground. He's talking to me, but I don't understand words. So he is probably going to beat me to death with a shovel. And I will crawl in the ground to convey my innermost thoughts to him. And that is, in the zombie apocalypse, shovels are great. Now what you want to do here is head towards the sun. As a general rule, you want to look directly into the sun at all times because that's how you can tell where you're going, assuming you are traveling to the sun. And there are no zombies on the sun, so that is where you want to go ultimately. That is the end game of this. Here is a pole. You'll notice there are several of them. They're scattered throughout the game to remind you that there are poles and they exist. We're going to go back to the coast where we came from. I don't know why. And like in real life, if you click the right mouse button, you can zoom in. Just like with your eyes, if you look through your right eye, you can see much farther than both your eyes. To show everybody that we are no threat to them, I will run down the middle of the highway. Because if you are a bad guy, you generally do not do this. You do sneaky maneuvers. And this way I am showing the world that I am fun and full of peace. And I pose no harm to them. And therefore I will not be hurt or damaged in any way in this game. Especially by somebody wearing a clown mask and holding a shovel. As you may have noticed, there's a lot of running in this game. It used to be a running simulator until they decided to put zombies in it. And it was also originally called Racist Day. But then they changed the name, but kept the racism. So there will be lots of running. And I hope you enjoy traveling to places because you will be doing that a lot in this game. I've found on average that for every 24 hours of playing DayZ, there is about approximately 1 to 2 minutes of doing things. The rest is traveling, going around trees, being around barns, things like that. But I don't want to sell it short because there are things like the hay bales. And again, this is an alpha and it will change completely. There could be new hay bales, different color hay bales, more poles, I don't know. I mean, really anything is possible. So I am running. I'm also hearing sounds. These are all very important to the act of running and playing a game. There are graphics, as you might have noticed. Many colors in this game. Trees, and there are birds. If you wanted a zombie game that takes place in Russia where you run down a highway for several hours and see birds, this is the game for you. Oh, I am losing the foot race! I did not even know I was in a foot race, but I am losing one to this guy. He obviously has leveled up his running, so I will lay in the middle of the highway and crawl to show him that he is a superior man and that he has bested me in physical prowess. I will now proceed to lay in the highway for an indefinite period of time. This is another strategy I like to use. It works very well. I have laid sufficiently in the highway, so I will now continue to one of the many exciting towns in DayZ with an exciting name that's completely foreign. It's highly foreign. This game boasts 100% foreign ability when it comes to town names. And so if you're looking for that kind of game, then DayZ is definitely for you. If you're not looking for that kind of game, then I cannot recommend DayZ because it won't be for you. And again, as you can see, I'm running. There are actually other ways to travel in DayZ, such as running backwards, but that's not usually as efficient. It gives you some problems with viewing things that are in front of you, unless if your front is your rear, in which case it is perfectly suited for your skill and play style. And you'll also notice, as far as the eye can see, we have more road ahead of us. That's good, because now you know that the Earth does not end here. And you will not fall off into the abyss. Again, there are up to 40 people / bots on this server, which means that at any given day, we might see one of them. Here's something in the road, a free flashlight. I treasure my hands, so I will not pick this one up. I do not want it bonded to me. Additionally, it could be an evil trap that somebody placed. Like, here's some pants, and they disappear and move in front of you. See, this is called the hangman's pants. And what people do is they put free clothing on the road, and when you go to pick them up, they either disappear, or the person shoots you, or you are ensnared in a trap. These pants... There seems to be no trap here, so I'm actually going to take the pants. Let me just... There, take t-shirt. Okay. I now possess a black t-shirt. It is pristine, in wonderful condition. The most beautiful black pristine t-shirt I've ever seen. I'm going to look around, see if anybody's missing a t-shirt. I don't see any. So I'm going to continue running. Hopefully it was not that guy who passed me, and that was his reward for winning the race. Now, some of you might be thinking that DayZ doesn't seem to have that many zombies in it. I have talked to the creator of this game, and the zombies will actually be added as a paid DLC, which will cost $9.99, and that will be for 10 zombies. If you want additional zombies, you will have to pay an additional $4.99 to unlock them. It's a reasonable pricing scheme, and I don't see any problem with it. Additionally, if you want your character to breathe oxygen, you will have to pay money for that air. So these are all things that you have to take into consideration when deciding if you want to purchase this. So now I've got some rustic cabins here. We'll jump up this one large step and see what's inside. I'm breathing heavily because I'm very erotic. Now we've got a heater, we've got a clock. You cannot actually take the clock, which is unfortunate. I will now loot this. I have given up trying to open up the cabinet, and I will instead punch it. Here I am opening the door through the cabinet. That's another feature of DayZ, that you can pass through random objects and open objects behind them without seemingly knowing what's going on. As I can see in the cabinet here, it is completely empty. You don't really need to open it to find that out. You can just walk inside and see. So we will now check this room. They have a rug which you can sell online for E-bucks, but I don't have an account, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to search the bed. I don't really see anything, so I will leave. Here's a well. You cannot go inside it. It will be in an expansion pack DLC, appropriately titled The Well, where you will be able to enter wells. They will be randomized dungeons and contain all kinds of unique loot, like hair dryers, construction helmets. Speaking of helmets, as you can see, I have discovered a motorcycle helmet cache where I can choose any one I want. I want that one. So now I've got a motorcycle helmet. I'm thirsty, but I have protective headgear, so this is good. This has raised a very important statistic of mine by probably a number. So now I am a thirsty man running around Russia with a flashlight glued to my hand and protective headwear. This puts me in a very good situation for success. Helmet guy, that is me. Somebody's referring to me. I'm hiding in the grass to show I mean him no harm. And I will respond by living in this barn. Here's an axe. I can use it as a weapon, but I choose not to pick it up because I'm a man of peace. This axe is actually a trick axe, and it is physically glued to the floor, so you cannot really use it. Actually, I have now picked up the axe, and I now have an axe. As you can see in my inventory, I have an axe, a helmet, and shoes. And as fortune has smiled upon us, there is now another axe. So if we wanted to make a store that sells axes, we could hypothetically do that. I will now place the axe in my hand, and now I have an axe in my hand. I can do things like this, which again produces the bullet noise. This is important in letting people think that you have a gun, when in actuality you don't. You have an axe, which is like a gun, but an axe. And that is the basic tour of your average DayZ game. If you'd like to know more, feel free to subscribe and thumbs up and share in Reddit and link and like and eCyber and thumbs up and share this video with all your friends, also people who are not your friends. Also, although I am #1 on all the DayZ servers with both a motorcycle and an axe, I will not be sharing these secret tips with the rest of the public. I have many other secret tips which you may find if you subscribe and like and thumbs up and share and BeConnect and LinkedIn and Facebook this and